Samasthiti. Let's come to the top of the mat. Everybody at home, come to the top of the mat. Good. You can close the eyes for this first part, just taking a moment to settle the attention into the space of the body. Feel your attention drop down and into the body. Sometimes you can actually feel that energy drop, like from the head space down into the body. It's like feel that on a tangible, somatic level. Start to tone the vocal cords for your Ujjayi breath, starting with a gentle Ujjayi breath. Starting to bring a little bit of length and smoothness to the breath. Relaxing the soft palate, releasing the soft palate, relaxing down to the root of the tongue. So you're releasing tension in the throat. We'll start with the Ashtanga Yoga opening mantra. We'll just chant it straight through all together. You can join or just listen. Vande Gurunam Charanaravindeya Sandarshita Swatma Sukha Vabode Nishreyase Jangali Kayamane Samsara Hala Hala Mohashantye Abahu Purushakaram Shankachakrasi Dharinam Sahasra Shirasam Shwetam Pranamami Patanjalim. Exhale the hands back down to your side, opening the eyes. We'll start with Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, press through the feet as the arms come over your head, bringing the elbows towards each other, reaching up through the pinkies. Exhale, up and over with a long spine. Hands come to the mat. Bend the knees if you need to. Relax the back. We'll take this first one nice and easy. Inhale to half lift. Press through the feet, lift the heart, and lengthen through the spine. Hands can come to the shins if you need them to. Exhale, step back into a high plank. Lower the knees to modify and slowly bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Point the toes, lift the heart. Maybe you're keeping the pelvis on the floor for this first one. Exhale, downward facing dog. So you can roll through tabletop or you can roll through the toes. Lifting the hips up and back. Good. And just settling here. Taking this first downward facing dog to again orient your attention into the space of the body. So we're setting up this space for the next hour or so to have our attention internally, to observe the breath moving up and down along the spine as we tone the vocal cords to lengthen and smooth the breath out. Good, let's take one more breath here. Fully exhale, empty of breath, step or jump to the top of the mat into the half lift position. Inhale. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, come to stand, press through the feet, reach up through the hands. Exhale, Samasthiti, standing. Again, same thing, inhale, pressing through the feet as you reach up. Exhale, fold, draw the lower belly in. Inhale, half lift, press through the four corners of the feet. Exhale, step or jump back. Keep the lower belly drawn in as you bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Maybe lifting the thighs, maybe not. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Settle into the breath. Find your pace of breathing that works for you, so you're coming into the fullest breaths without straining the breath. So allow the rib cage to expand out in all directions as you take a full breath in. And as the rib cage expands, the diaphragm is also spreading and widening as you breathe in. And then everything comes back in towards the center as you breathe out, keeping the lower belly drawn in. So see if you can get a sense of hollowing through the front of the pelvis as you lift the sit bones up and back. Fully exhale on your next exhale. Bend the knees, drop the tailbone, gaze forward. See if you can jump to the top or as close as you can to the hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold over the legs, strong legs, press through the feet. Inhale, press through the feet, and let that be what brings you up. As you drop the tailbone, drop the pubic bone. Exhale, Samasthiti, floating the arms back down to your side. Again, inhale, drop the pubic bone and tailbone down towards each other. Exhale, fold, long spine, and then relax the muscles along the spine. Inhale, half lift, draw the lower belly and reach the heart forward. Exhale, step back into a plank, slowly bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog, reach the heart up, reach the toes back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, settling, pressing the hands into the mat, reaching the sit bones back and up. And legs are strong. Good. One more breath. Fully exhale. Bend the knees, drop the tailbones, gaze forward, step or jump to the top. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale as you fold, fully exhale. Inhale, come to stand, pressing down, reaching up, and wrap the shoulder blades around towards the front of the body. Exhale, Samasthiti. Inhale, arms over your head, palms touch, wrap the shoulder blades, widen the upper back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step back into a plank, hold the plank. So don't bend the elbows, come into a high plank. And you're gonna press through the shoulder blades so that you widen the upper back. You move the shoulder blades away from each other. So protract the shoulders. So it feels like you're lifting the upper spine up between the shoulder blades. So your upper back is super rounded. Good. Now do the opposite. Let the shoulder blades come towards each other, and it feels like the chest sinks between the shoulder blades. Do that again. Press down, protract. And then shoulder blades come together, retract. Good. And now find the middle path, somewhere between protracting and retracting. You can lower the knees here if you need to. So you feel the upper back widening and spreading, but you're also settling into the shoulders. It feels like you're settling into the shoulders. Good. Draw the lower belly in, spread the lower back so you're not arching the back and letting the hips sink down. Press through the shoulders, drop the tailbone so the sit bones are reaching towards the heels. Draw the lower belly in, good. Okay, exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Lower the knees if you need to. That was a long hold. Inhale, upward facing dog. Lift the heart, reach back through the toes. Exhale, downward facing dog or child's pose. Settling, draw the lower belly in. And again, see if you can feel this action of the shoulder blades widening and spreading so that they're wrapping around towards the front of the body. Same action that we do in Ekam inhale when we bring the arms over your head. So you're wrapping the shoulder blades around towards the front of the body so you release the tension around the neck. Create a lot of space around the neck. Good. One more breath here. Fully exhale. Bend the knees, drop the tailbone, gaze forward, step or jump to the top. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, come to stand, pressing down, reaching up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, take a deep breath in. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, high plank. Again, hold the high plank. Stabilize the shoulders. And so when you're finding that middle ground between protraction and retraction, also move the shoulders down the back. So you squeeze into the armpits. So it feels like you're moving the shoulders away from the ears. And then reach back through the heels to tone the lower belly. So you're really strengthening through the front of the body. Good. Deep breath in. Exhale as you bend, Chaturanga Dandasana. Gaze forward a little bit as you bend. Inhale, upward facing dog. Press the shoulders down, lift the heart up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot forward, Virabhajasana. Inhale, come up, press down through the feet as you reach the arms over your head. Exhale, come back down. Keep breathing. Bend the elbows, exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot forward, lower the back heel. Inhale, come up. Press down through the feet as you reach up. Exhale, come back down. Stay with the breath. Step back. Chaturanga Dandasana, shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, upward facing dog. Maybe micro bend the elbows here. See how that feels. Exhale, downward facing dog or child's pose. Good. Deep breaths. Good. Couple more breaths here. Press down, yeah. On your next exhale, fully exhale as you bend the knees, drop the tailbone, gaze forward. Step or jump to the top. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, Utkatasana. Bend the knees, lift the arms, wrap the shoulder blades. Exhale, Samasthiti. Good. Inhale, arms over your head, palms touch, straight legs. No Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Fully exhale, moving with the breath. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Shoulders away from the ears, squeeze into the armpits. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Trikonasana, from here, step the right foot forward, lower the back heel, and straighten that right leg. And then you're gonna reach the left arm up towards the ceiling for triangle pose. And so you can adjust that bottom arm, putting it on a block if you need to, bringing it to the shin. Good, whatever you need to keep that torso coming over the right leg without arching the back. Reach the tailbone towards the left heel. Good, draw the lower belly in. Smooth breath. And then big push down through the feet, moving them down and away from each other to stabilize. On your next exhale, gaze down for balance. We're gonna move into a half moon pose. So shift the right hand towards the top right corner of the mat. Pick up the left leg and reach the left arm up. And so that right hand can be on the floor or on a block. Connect into that right foot. Feel the four corners of that right foot rooting down. Lift the kneecaps, strong leg. And then as you reach back through the left heel, reach forward through the heart. And find the breath. Draw the lower belly in. As you exhale, gaze down, bend into that right knee and bring the left hand to the floor. Inhale into a high plank and take an extra breath here to stabilize the shoulders, draw the lower belly in so you're rotating the pelvis under, reach back through the heels. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, full breath out as you bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Other side, left foot forward, back heel down, and then from there you move into Trikonasana. So you open to the side, reach the right arm up. Good, and you can gaze up towards that right hand or gaze to the side if that puts too much strain on the neck. Make sure you're rolling the shoulders away from the ears as you feel the spine growing long from the pelvis, reaching the heart towards the front of the mat. And then don't forget about your foundation. Press the feet down and away from each other. Good. I would micro bend this front knee You're just a little bit hypermobile to like protect the joint and engage the quad. Strong leg. Good. One more breath, smooth breath. Exhale, gaze down. Shift into half moon pose. Left hand comes to the top left corner of the mat. Pick up the right leg. Good, and it feels like you're reaching out in all directions, pressing through the feet, reaching through the right hand up, and then reaching the right heel back, the heart forward. You're reaching in 4 directions. Good. One more breath. Draw the lower belly in, draw the lower ribs in. Exhale as you make your way back down to the mat. Take an extra breath in the high plank, shoulders away from the ears. Reach the heels back, sit bones towards the heels, draw the lower belly in, and on your next exhale, slowly bend the elbows, keeping that position. Inhale, upward facing dog, deep breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog, full breath out. Let's go straight into Digasana from here. So you're gonna bring the left foot forward, come onto your fingertips or bring blocks underneath the hands, and you're gonna pick up that right leg into Warrior 3. So the hands are underneath the shoulders. And you're finding a straight line between the torso and the right leg. Good. And again, connect into your foundation. So press through the 4 corners of the left foot, strong left leg. And then it feels like you're spreading the lower back so that the pelvis is on top of the femur bone. And you could also get that since that action of spreading the lower back by internally rotating the right leg so that the toes point down when you flex the foot. As you reach back through the right heel, counteract that by reaching forward through the heart. Good, draw the lower belly in. On your next inhale, we're gonna bring that right leg in front of us. So you're gonna lift the chest, bring the leg out in front of you. Try not to touch the floor with the right leg and reach the arms over your head. Good, find a drishti point and spread the entire back side. So you feel like that right leg is drawing in towards the hip socket to spread the lower back and wrap the shoulder blades around towards the front of the body. Reach up through the pinkies to spread the upper back. Good, one more breath here, smooth breath. On your next exhale, we're gonna go into a twist. So left hand comes to the outside of the right knee. The right arm reaches back, or you can catch the outside of the right foot and start to straighten the leg. If your balance is way off like mine today, then just keep it on the knee. Good, reach back through the left fingers. Good, and now see if you can drop the right sit bone underneath you to move a little bit deeper into the twist. Just like this. Good, one more breath here. If you fall out, just come right back in. On your next exhale, release the right leg. One more Digasana, so bring that right leg behind you. Lower the chest, hands to prayer, or arms out to the side. Good, and from here we're gonna go into a lunge. So you're gonna gently bend into the left knee and shoot that right leg back as far behind you as you can. Keep the heel lifted, arms over your head. Good. Stay with it. Good, now bend into the left knee as you reach back through the right heel and drop the tailbone. So you rotate the pelvis under so you feel a really nice stretch through the front of the right hip. Good, smooth breath. One more here. Inhale, deep breath in, and on your exhale, we're gonna go into a twist. Twist over to the right, so the right elbow comes to the left thigh, and you can have your hands in prayer. You have some options here. You can have the right hand to the floor, or you can also take a bind. Good. And that back heel can be lifted, or you can bring it down for a deeper twist. But if the heel is lifted, keep feeling that opposition of the heel reaching back and the left knee reaching forward. Good. Draw the lower belly in, one more breath here. Inhale, coming out of it slowly, lowering the back heel and straightening the left leg. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, humble warrior. So as you bend the left knee, you're going to fold on the inside of the thigh and let the hands come away from the hips. Getting into the shoulders as you maintain a strong foundation. So press down through the feet. Good. Let's just take one more breath here. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, hands to the mat, frame the foot. Inhale into a high plank, stabilize the shoulders, draw the lower belly in, tone the core. Exhale, bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, we're gonna do all that on the other side. Right foot forward. Come onto your fingertips or place the blocks underneath the hands. Pick up the left leg. Good. Really feel into that strong leg, so you're pressing through the right foot. And then you're spreading the lower back, so you're not arching the back and sinking into the right foot. Into the right hip, which if you relax, that can be like a tendency you lean into. Press down through the foot, so you start to spread the lower back, draw the lower belly in, reach back through the left heel, and then also reach forward through the heart. Smooth, steady breath. Deep breaths. On your next inhale, as you lift the chest, press through the foot and swing that left leg forward. If you fall out, just come right back in. Arms over your head. Good. Rooting down as you reach up. Make sure the shoulders are over the hips, so you're not leaning back. Find a drishti, a soft gazing point. On your next exhale, move into the twist. Slowly take your time. So you can either bend the knee and catch the outside of the knee with the right hand, or you can catch the outside of the foot and straighten the leg. Find a drishti. It can be to the side or it can be back towards that left thumb. And feel the left sit bone moving down and towards the midline. So you're creating space between the pelvis and the rib cage so that you twist into the space. Draw the lower belly in. Relax the shoulders. Good. Take one more smooth, deep breath. And as you exhale slowly with control, come into one more Digasana. So the left leg reaches back, the heart comes forward. Hands in prayer, or you can bring the hands back to the floor if you need to, or out to the side. Good, strong standing legs. See if you can relax the toes. And as you exhale, bend into that left knee, soft bend, right knee, as you reach the left foot back, way back into a lunge, arms over your head. Good. And then as you bend the right knee, reach the left heel back and drop the tailbone. So really stretch through the front of the left hip. And then wrap the shoulder blades. So you're really engaging into the serratus muscle to wrap the shoulder blades around towards the front of the body. So it feels like the elbows come towards each other, reach up through the pinkies. Inhale, deep breath in, preparing to twist. Exhale, twist over to the right. So left elbow comes to the thigh. And again, just like in the standing twist, feel the sit bone moving down and towards the midline as you reach the heart forward and up. Take any version that you'd like. Keep the breath deep, keep the rib cage expanding out, especially through the sides and the back, where there's more space. Good, one more breath here. Draw the lower belly in. Inhale, slowly come out of it. Lower the back heel, straighten the right leg. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale into humble warrior. So bend into that right knee again and fold. And press the feet down and away from each other as you relax the neck and the shoulders. Good. Relax the neck. One more breath here. Inhale, come up. Exhale, frame the foot. Inhale into a high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, one more standing posture. Inhale, step the feet or jump the feet forward. Bend the knees, arms over your head, Utkatasana. You can have the palms together gazing up with the palms apart gazing forward. Feel the tailbone dropping as the heart lifts. And again, wrap the shoulder blades actively. Good, draw the lower belly in. One more breath. Keep the knees bent, exhale, chest comes to your thighs, hands to the floor, in front of you, shoulder width apart. Shift into the hands, come forward. Good, so the heels start to lift. And now find that position in the shoulders that we worked on in plank. Shoulders away from the ears, and then press the shoulders to find a balance between protraction and retraction. And then keep squeezing the knees in towards the chest. Shift forward a little bit more. Keep the hips lifted. Exhale, step back into a plank. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. All right, let's come through to seated. Jump through, or just sink the knees. Good, how are we doing? Are we warm? Yeah, okay. Yeah, was that hard today? I feel like we moved really slow. So I don't know, maybe my head's just slow today. Hands next to the hips. Let's take a moment in Dandasana to kind of just come back in. If you need to elevate the hips onto a bolster or blanket, especially if you need help with that rotation of the pelvis, so you can really find a straight spine, elevate the hips, and then feel the sit bones rooting down as the heart lifts up. Good. And then you might need to bend the elbows a little bit so that the shoulders really come down away from the ears. And then notice the residue from the standing postures. Just notice what it feels like in the body after having put all this effort into connecting into the earth and like working on our foundation. All right, release that. Arms over your head, and then feel the sit bones rooting down. So before we fold forward, we're going to create space. Feel that wrapping around with the serratus as you reach up through the pinkies. Good, and so imagine like you're creating space between the rib cage and the hips. As you press down, drop the tailbone a little bit, lift the rib cage. Inhale, keep lifting up as you reach forward. So it feels like you're moving the rib cage away from the hips. Draw the lower belly and keep reaching forward. And once you find your limit, keep the legs strong. Catch the feet or have the hands alongside the legs on the fingertips. And then again, inhale, lift up a little bit to draw the lower belly in and drop the tailbone. And then exhale, reach the rib cage away from the hips again as you fold into it and relax the muscles along the back and in the neck. And do that as many times as you need to. Inhale, draw the lower belly in, create space, and then exhale, move into the space. As you keep reaching the heart forward, keep reaching the crown of the head forward. Keep the legs strong. And so it feels like a waving action along the spine. And you can do that as many times as you want to a point where you're in the posture, and that becomes a more subtle movement. As you're following the breath, move up and down along the spine, creating new space, moving into space. Good. Keep the breath steady. Good. Relax. Keep the legs strong. Reaching forward through the base of the big toes. On your next inhale, look up. Exhale there. Inhale, slide the hands behind the hips for reverse plank or reverse tabletop. So you can keep the legs together with the feet together, or bend the knees and plant the feet. And if you want to kind of add a little challenge, squeeze a block with the knees. Inhale, reach the tailbone forward as you lift the pelvis, lift the heart, and maybe drop the head back if that feels okay on the neck. Good. Keep breathing, keep lifting through the pelvis as you press the hands down and back. Good. Reach the knees forward or the toes forward. One more breath here. Keep reaching the toes towards the ground. Exhale as you slowly lower down. Good. All right. So if you have blocks, grab some blocks. You're going to place them as close as you can towards your body. So try not to let the blocks be too wide. You want to get them in as close as you can and just in front of the hips. All right, just for the jumping back, jumping through request. If you've taken my class, you've done this for sure before. Hands on the blocks. All right, yeah. If you need blocks, grab some blocks. You can also, if you don't have blocks at home, you can also just put the hands directly onto the floor. The blocks just give you an opportunity to create space to work this a little bit more. So I don't know if that makes it easier or harder. So you let me know. All right, hands down. And so you want to feel this action of the hips moving back and the shoulders moving forward. So you're going to press through the hands and lift the hips back and the shoulders forward. So a common mistake, like what you're getting high, is just coming straight up. And it's going to be hard to get that momentum of jumping back if you just go straight up, yeah? So you want to pitch the shoulders forward and shift the hips up and back. So your heels might slide back a little bit. They actually probably won't. Good. Okay, so it lifts up and we're going to hold it for 5 breaths. Inhale, lift up. 1, and then if you want, you can try lifting one foot. 2, 3, lift the other foot. 4, and press through the shoulders. 5, exhale, come down. Good. Check it out if you need to. Maybe you got a little cramp. I got a little cramp with my hip. All right, now we're gonna keep going. So we're gonna lift up and then we're gonna cross the shins. So you're gonna lift up, cross the shins, and then walk the feet back. And then once the feet pass the hands, you're going to do another big push down like we did after Utkatasana, and bring the knees towards the chest, drop the tailbone, and feel that spreading action through the upper back. We're going to hold here for 5 breaths and then keep going back into a plank. All right? Let's do it. Press down. Gonna wake you guys up. Hips back, shoulders forward. Cross the shins. Walk the feet back. Keep the shins crossed and hold it for 5. Press the shoulders, drop the tailbone. 4. Spread the upper back. 3. Maybe lift the feet. 2. 1. Exhale. Step back into plank. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, now to jump through, we're just going to reverse all of that. So shift forward so the shoulders come over the hands. Cross the feet 1 foot at a time or both. Walk the feet through or slide them through into the straight leg position. And then one final push up. Exhale, come down. Good. Check out your arms. It's a lot. Okay. So, Marichyasana A. Let's bend the right knee so that the foot is the space between the right foot and the left leg. Inhale, reach forward with the right arm on the inside of that right thigh. And you can stay here holding onto the inside of the foot, or you can take the bind. Deep breath in, exhale, fold. And so if you were one of those that you needed to elevate the hips in the forward fold, elevate the hips here too. Good, keep the left leg strong. Good, just a couple more breaths here. Inhale, look up. Exhale there. Release that, keep the right knee where it is, and now twist, Marichyasana C. So hug the right knee, bring the right hand behind you, find a twist, or you can go for a deeper version. The elbow comes to the outside of the thigh, or you go for the full bind. And feel free to allow that right sit bone to lift a little bit. As you feel the right side of the hip moving forward, dropping down, lift the heart up. Good, one more breath here. Exhale, release. Good, straighten the right leg. We're gonna do jump back again. So you choose, do you want the blocks or do you not want the blocks? And we won't hold anything, so we'll just go straight through. Inhale, hips back, shoulders forward, cross the shins. Walk or swing the feet back into plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. So you can break it down or just jump all the way through. All right, other side, left foot. Bend the left knee. Inhale, reach forward. Catch the foot or the right leg, or take the bind. And then take another deep breath in to create space. And then exhale as you fold. Good. And then feel into the space of the body. So we're working on hip flexion, mainly hip flexion in this posture. So we're moving into the left hip crease. Good, one more breath. Inhale, look up. Exhale there. Release the bind. Exhale as you move into the twist on the left side. Any version that you're working on. Good. And then if you want to deepen the twist here, you can think about moving the left knee out to the side, and then you resist that action with the arm. And that'll pull you into the center a little bit more to move into the twist. One more breath. Exhale, release. All right, straighten the legs. Get ready to jump through. Use the blocks or no blocks. Inhale, lift the hips, shoulders forward, cross the shins. Bend the elbows in Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through. Make sure to keep the toes pointed as you jump through. Keep the feet flexed, then that might get in the way. Something to notice if you're doing that. All right, straight legs. Let's do Navasana, since we requested core. So we'll ease into this. So hug the knees into the chest, and then you want to find that space between the sit bones and the sacrum. So you're going to lean back just a little bit, come to the toes. Point the toes and just lightly touch the floor with the toes. Good, and now we're going to catch the back of the thighs. And then press into the thighs to really lift the heart. Good, draw the lower belly in. So you just notice, just by being here, you have to engage the core, because if not, you'll fall back. Good. So you're dropping the tailbone a little bit, but lifting the heart. Relax the shoulders. Now see if you can bring the knees towards each other. Good. And you're going to cross the shins, hands in front of the hips. Inhale, lift the hips. Maybe lift the feet. Exhale, come down. And it's that same action of the hips moving back, the shoulders coming forward. Okay, again, Navasana. You can be here. And then see if you can lift the feet away from the floor without rounding the back too much. Keep the heart lifted. Keep drawing the lower belly in. And relax the neck and the shoulders. Maybe the arms are coming out to the side. Good. Deep breaths. Knees moving towards each other. Good. Cross the shins, hands in front of the hips. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Okay, now we're going to add a hollow body, so like a sunken Navasana. So we're going to be in Navasana, and then we're going to lower down where the lower back touches the floor. So you want to rotate the pelvis under so that the lower back is flat on the floor. And if you need to modify, bend the knees so the toes touch the floor. And then we'll inhale, come back up. All right, let's do that again. Navasana, 5 breaths, and then we'll lower down. Good. So take any version of Navasana, toes on the floor, catching the thighs, lifting the feet, or even straightening the legs. One more breath, wherever you are. And on your next exhale, lower down. Keep the shoulders off the floor. Lower back touches. Good. For 3, 2, strong front body. 1, inhale, come back up. Hands in front of the hips. Inhale, lift. Exhale, come down. Again, Navasana. 5 breaths. 1, 2, deep breaths. 3, soft gaze at the toes. 4, 5, exhale, come down. Remember, you can modify bending the knees and bringing the toes to the floor. 1, 2, hollow body. 3, it's good for handstands, inversions, so much. And 1, inhale, come up. And inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Should we do it one more time? Yeah. Yeah? All right. Everybody here wants to do it one more time. So, let's do it one more time. Come up. 1. Good. 2. Focus on the breath. Deep breaths. 3. 4. No matter how uncomfortable it is, it's not going to last forever, so that's the good news. 5. Lower down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I see some arms over the head. Nice. 5. Inhale. That like makes it so much harder. Lift up, and then keep lifting up to jump back. Exhale. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Maybe stay here a little bit longer because it feels nice to open the front body. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, come down to your knees. Let's take a vote. Do you rather work on some like inversions or start moving into backbends? Inversions. Both. Yeah, for sure. Open the shoulders, because we just use the shoulders a lot. Maybe we do one inversion, open the shoulders, and then do backbends. Yeah? Okay. This is like a co-created class. Huh? Yeah. We all gotta say, it's your practice, not mine. All right, let's do a little bit of pincha work. So, and hopefully that works for everybody at home too. Didn't ask you. All right. Okay, so bring the forearms parallel to each other. And you can stop, do it with me, and just stop anywhere along this pathway that I'm just gonna like present to you. Tuck the toes, lift the hips. So you can stop here. Pressing through the elbows, really feel the elbows pressing down, and that moves the shoulders away from the ears and really stabilizes the whole shoulder girdle. And you can start to walk the feet forward. So you're bringing the hips as close as you can over the shoulders. Gazing softly between the forearms, relax the neck, and then press the elbows down again. You can stay here, or you can start going into pincha, lift one leg up, and then gently bend the bottom leg to help you come off the floor. So you can just do a few kicks like this, where you're just pushing off that bottom leg and lifting it away from the floor, maybe finding some air time. And so once you find that straight line upside down, press through the elbows. Maybe you bring the feet together. Maybe you just keep them apart to help you find the balance. Good. Now you're just holding the prep. That really strengthens the shoulders a lot. Trying to make sure you keep the forearms parallel to each other as much as you can. Good. Here, if you want, you can kick and I'll help you so you won't fall over. Nice. Oh, nice. You're good. Press through the elbows. Good. So your elbows are coming apart a little bit. Yeah, which is, sometimes it's flexibility, sometimes it's strength. But try to keep the elbows as close as you can. Good. So if you're taking a break in between, you can go back into it. Try one more time. Some time to just try 1 or 2 more times. Good. Don't spend too much time breaking it down. But I think that elbows pressing down is like the most important to really stabilize. And maybe if the elbows are coming apart, maybe we work a little bit on opening the shoulders. So come down for a moment, take child's pose. Good, and we'll release the shoulders before we transition into back bends. Good, yeah. Nice. Try again. Nice. Nice. Good. Good. All right, come down. Nice. It's a hard inversion.
Straight.
Yeah, they're straight. You were.
I thought you were going.
Yeah, you were a little crooked, and I couldn't tell if that was me or if that was your foundation. Yeah, you were a little crooked.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's just, you know, we're always a little crooked. Okay, let's come into puppy pose. So, come back and come into a tabletop. Good. And then you're going to move the elbows forward. So if you're in tabletop, the elbows are going to come. I like to use blocks for puppy pose. So, but if you don't want to use blocks, that's fine. So the blocks come like in front of the hands if you're in tabletop. And then you place the elbows down, shoulder width apart, palms together. Let the head come between the arms and the hands towards the upper back. And then you let the heart sink down towards the floor. So the blocks actually make it, I think, a little bit deeper. So if it's too intense, just take the blocks out. And then also if you prefer to do it with the arms straight, that's fine too. Make sure the elbows are shoulder width apart. And you just feel like the heart sinking towards the mat. Opening the upper spine, releasing the shoulders. We did a lot of shoulder work today. Good, and allow the exhales to help you release into this. Maybe open up a little bit more. Good. Inhale, slowly come out of it. Good. And then just sit back on the heels. If you want, you can also tuck the toes. Oh, I haven't done this in a long time. This is like a yin posture. It looks really simple, but it gets really intense. You just sit on the toe, and it like opens the back of the feet. If you want. We're gonna do some more shoulder releasing, so it's kind of like do 2 things at once. Okay, cross the right elbow above the left elbow. Bend the elbows and bring the palms together. So coming into eagle arm. Good. Yeah, if you can't, you just, as close as you can catch like the wrist or something. If you can't bring the fingers to the palm. Got it. And then you're gonna lift the elbows up a little bit and drop the shoulder blades down the back. So it's that same like armpit squeezing action. Good, and then press the palms together, squeeze the elbows towards each other. Good. One more breath here. Exhale, release. You need to come off the toes, you can. Other side, left elbow above the right elbow, bend, palms together. As you lift the elbows a little bit, drop the shoulders. Find a deep, steady breath. Good. Exhale, release that. All right, let's lie down on our stomachs. Good. Feet together, point the toes. We'll do Shavasana. Bring the arms next to the body with the palms facing up. Inhale, reach the toes back and up, lift the heart up. And try to keep the feet together. Keep the backs of the hands on the floor. Okay, so we're creating length in this posture. Reach the toes back, reach the heart forward. One more breath here. And then we're moving into B. So you're gonna switch the hands just behind the chest, Chaturanga Dandasana position. And then press the hands down and back to really reach the heart forward. So you're creating space between the rib cage and the hips. Keep reaching back through the toes. Keep the pelvis and the belly on the floor. So you're just lifting the heart, belly on the floor. Good, yeah. Exhale, release that. Tuck the toes. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's shift into plank position again. Exhale, come down to your stomach. Good. And really like here, actually, yeah. Tuck the toes, lift the belly a little bit, and then lengthen the belly as you bring it back down. So it feels like you move the rib cage away from the hips. Good, yeah. All right, bend the knees, let's do Dhanurasana. Bend the knees, catch the ankles. If you can't catch the ankles, then you're just reaching back towards the ankles, and that's your Dhanurasana. If you catch the ankles, start kicking the feet like if you're gonna straighten the legs, and that's gonna lift the chest. You can keep the feet flexed, or you can point the feet. And if there's space in the lower back, bring the feet together. Good, for 3 more breaths, keep kicking. Good, 2, 1, exhale, release that. Yeah, it's a hard one. Yeah, good. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, let's come to our knees. Come down to your knees. All right, we'll do Ustrasana. So we'll do a couple versions of Ustrasana to like ease into it. So first, interlace the fingers, and then we're just gonna reach the fingers down as you lift the heart up. So use the hands reaching towards the floor to help you lift the heart up. So you're using action and counteraction. Good, really lifting the rib cage away from the hips. And then squeeze the knees in towards each other as you draw the lower belly in. Feel that energy rising up along the spine. Take one more breath here. Exhale, release it back down onto your heels. Good. All right, we're gonna do it again. You can do that version. That's like such a great version, like you're still doing the same pattern of Ustrasana. It's just very accessible. You can also tuck the toes, and as you move into it, I'm gonna guide you to move into it, so we move into it by creating space. But I wanna give you your options first. You can catch the heels with the toes tucked, or you can bring the hands to the feet with the feet pointed. Or you can have blocks next to the feet, in close towards the feet, and then you bring the hands to the blocks. Just make sure that the blocks are as close as you can towards the feet, because if not, it'll feel kind of wobbly. All right, come up onto your knees. Fully exhale. As you inhale, draw the lower belly and squeeze the knees in towards each other and start to lift the rib cage away from the hips. So that first version of Ustrasana we just did. Draw the lower belly in and feel like someone's lifting you up between the shoulder blades, lifting the heart up. Exhale, start to shift the hips forward as you lean back, catch the heels, catch the feet, catch the blocks. Good. And then once you're there, maybe you drop the head back. And again, squeeze the knees in towards each other, draw the lower belly in. As you shift the hips forward, lift the rib cage away from the hips. Spreading the lower back. Keep drawing the lower belly in as you press through the feet, lift through the heart. So you're creating length and space as you move into this back bend. Go ahead, take one more breath here. Shift the hips forward a little bit more. Good. Inhale, come out of it the same way you came in. So lifting up to come out so you don't dump into the lower back. Sit on your knees, sit on your heels. You can take child's pose here for a moment. All right, let's take a vinyasa and we'll meet lying down on our backs. Good. You know what? Let's go straight into shoulder stand. So we're going to bring the feet over the hips, and you can either modify shoulder stand, keeping the hips on the floor, bringing a block underneath the sacrum, and bringing the feet over the hips, or go into the full shoulder stand where you lift the hips and bring the hands to the lower back. And as you move into it, really make sure you shrug the shoulders down the back, so that the weight comes into the shoulders, not into the head or the neck. Keep the feet over the hips, and then gently move the chin away from the chest, so that there's space underneath the neck to support the neck. Good, and as we wind down the practice, really coming into your fullest, deepest breaths to regulate the nervous system in these inversions. Keep reaching the toes up towards the ceiling. Smooth, deep, steady breath. On your next exhale, coming into Halasana, bringing the feet towards the floor. And then you have the option to interlace the fingers and straighten the arms. The toes can be pointed or tucked. Whatever helps you to find a straight spine so that the sit bones reach up towards the ceiling. Keep the breath deep and steady. When you're ready, moving into Karnapidasana, bending the knees and rounding the spine for this one, so that the knees are coming towards the ears and down towards the floor. And if you need a variation, you can do Happy Baby. Really rounding. Releasing the hands and rolling out of this, vertebrae by vertebrae, slowly bringing the hips down. And then once the hips land, bringing the legs down to the floor, keeping the legs straight. If you rather do the more conventional version of Marichyasana, you can come into a full lotus. If not, just keep the legs straight. Now we're going to come into fish pose for a counter pose. Press into the elbows, lift the heart, and bring the crown of the head towards the mat. So we skipped 2 of the shoulder stands. If you want to do them, you can. Good, so you're lifting the heart, crown of the head towards the mat. Really opening the front of the body. Feel the shoulder blades squeezing in towards each other to lift the heart, lift the sacrum. You could always do this a supported version with the blocks underneath the upper back. Good, just a couple more breaths here. Feel the mind melting into the mat. And exhale, release that. Good. Let's rock up to seated. If you want, you can take Chakrasana, backward roll. Let's take a Vinyasa. So we'll all meet in Chaturanga Dandasana, bottom of the plank. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. Good. Let's do, so we worked so much to get the shoulders in the right position. Let's do headstand. So elbows shoulder width apart, interlace the fingers. I like to tuck that bottom pinky in so that there's a flat surface at the outside edge of the hands and the wrist. And make sure that the wrists are strong, so you don't want the wrists to collapse. So it's like the wrists are perpendicular to the mat. Before you put the head down, tuck the toes, lift the hips, and then press through the elbows so the shoulders come away from the ears. You're going to tuck the chin down in towards the chest so that the very top of the head comes to the mat, and you're going to shift forward. So same thing as Pincha, we're trying to get the hips to come over the shoulders as much as you can. And you can stay here, this can be your headstand. Remember to keep pressing through the elbows, and then maybe you're coming into a tuck, hips over the shoulders, maybe you're straightening the legs, finding the center line. And when you find the center line, this is when that front body strengthening that we worked on in Navasana comes in handy. So you're hollowing the front of the body, strengthening the front of the body to find that center line as you keep pressing the elbows down. Good. Yeah, help, for sure. Good. Wherever you are, keep breathing. Good. Good. Yeah, nice. I'm not going anywhere. Good. Bring the ribs in, lower ribs in. Yeah, good. If you want to try coming down halfway, the hips shifts back and the legs come down into a pike position. All right, coming down. So that the legs are parallel with the floor. Good. Like press the shoulders and just be careful not to arch. Yeah.
I have that. Yeah. I've done it so many times the wrong way that now I have it.
Yeah.
That's why I don't see myself.
Yeah. Inhale, come all the way up if you're halfway. Exhale, come down into child's pose. Yeah, it's difficult to change patterns when you're upside down, because also you're disoriented a little bit, you know.
I think it's like I'm not afraid of that.
Mhm.
Because I do look around all the time.
Yeah.
Like all these things.
Yeah.
And it's just it's more of a mental thing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But you know, keep practicing and it'll start to shift. All right. Let's take a Vinyasa. Inhale into a high plank. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, let's come through to a seated position. And you can take full lotus here if you want to. We didn't do a lot to open the hips. So also just feel free to come to a comfortable seat. Elevate the hips if you need to sit up onto a blanket or a bolster. Then we're going to wrap the arms behind the back. You can take the bind if you're in full lotus or just grab onto opposite forearms. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward. Good. Really coming into the breath, lengthening and deepening the breath and following the pathway of the breath as it moves in and out. On your next inhale, come up, bringing the shoulders over the hips. And we're going to bring the hands behind the hips, fingertips pointing forward on your fingertips. And we're going to inhale, lean back to lift the heart. This is like in the old school Ashtanga sequence, and they cut it out. But I think it's so nice. It's like such a nice moment to open the heart and breathe into the rib cage. Good. 3. Deep breaths. Maybe looking up, lifting the chin a little bit. 2. And 1. Release that. Wrist towards your knees, pointer towards the thumb. Find a straight spine, draw the lower belly and lift the heart. And gazing gently at the tip of the nose or on the floor somewhere in front of you. And finding your longest, most conscious breaths of the whole practice without straining the breath. Deep, steady breaths in and out through the nose. Tone in the vocal cords, the soft palate is released, and you're drawing the lower belly back and up. Before we take Shavasana, let's do some Nadi Shodhana. So you're gonna, with the right hand, you're gonna fold the pointer and the middle finger down. And you use the thumb to close the right nostril and the ring finger to close the left nostril. You're gonna close it right at that part of the nose where it goes from hard to soft. Right underneath that hard part, there's like a little bridge there. And that's where you're gonna press gently to control the breath. Yeah, so not all the way down at the like bottom of the nostrils. It's a little bit higher than that. It's like there's like a little indentation there on the nose. That's where you want to gently press. So fully exhale through both. Inhale through the left. Drop the chin a little bit. Exhale through the right. So you're closing the left nostril. Again like that, inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale left. Exhale right. And you're going to stay on this side. We're going to reverse it. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale right, last one. Exhale left. And release that, bring the right hand down. I'm just sitting here for a moment, feeling into the residue. You can stay here as long as you'd like, and when you're ready, you can make your way to Shavasana, final resting pose. Good, completely relaxing the body. Feeling the backside of the body, making contact with the mat. Just feel all those points of contact that the body is making with the ground. And just fully relax as you feel the body making contact with the ground. Feel the ground moving up to support the body through those points of contact. Release the tension behind the eyes, in the throat, in the jaw. Feel free to stay here longer if you'd like. If you're ready to start moving out of it, waking up the body by moving the fingers and the toes. And when you're ready, bringing the knees into the chest. Coming over to either side of the body for a fetal position. And slowly making your way back up to a seated position. When you're ready, just finding a comfortable seat. Just taking one last moment with yourself before you go out with the rest of your day. Just want to find a moment of having the attention focused inwards. Finish with the closing mantra. Swasti prajabhyaha paripalayantan nyayena margena mahim mahishaha go brahmanebhyaha shubhamastu nityam lokhaha samastaha sukhino bhavantu. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for being here. Thanks for practicing. Thanks. Thank you. It's really nice to have you here. And thanks to everybody at home. Thanks for practicing with us. It's nice to have you here too.